Hello everyone and welcome to page 147 of your textbook. We are looking at lesson 7 from chapter 2, percent of a number. So we're going to look at a number and figure out a percent from it, or look at the percent and understand how it connects to the number, percent of a number. Over here we have a real world connection regarding snacks. In a survey, remember a survey means like an encuesta. In a survey, 200 students chose their favorite snacks. Use the table to find the number of students who chose each snack. Now, boys and girls, a lot of you are realizing that if we're working with a number out of 200, right, and we're looking with percent, remember that percent simply means out of 100. But now we're talking about 200. So really it's just the double the amount. So for example, when we look at the fruit, this is their favorite snack. 23%, 23 out of 100, 23% chose fruit. When we make it out of 200, you simply double the top. Because you double the bottom, you double the top. So 46 students out of 200 is 23%. Okay, let's go ahead. You can pause the video now and complete all of these on your own and see how you do. Pause the video now. Okay, continuing on, we have cheese. 15% chose cheese. 15 out of 100. 15% chose cheese. So we write our 15 right here, 15 out of 100. And now if we want to make it out of 200, we double it. Just because we double the 100, we must double the top. So our answer is 30 out of 200. Veggies, 17%. 17%. Por cien, as we've said in Spanish before. 17%. Now it's going to be out of 200, so we double it. 17 times 2 is 34. 15%. 15 out of 100, we double it, becomes 30. 30 out of 200, oops, I forgot up here, 34. Okay. 18%. 18 per 100. If we were to make it out of 200, it would become 36. 36 out of 200. So if you figure out the pattern, I'm just simply doubling it because I double the bottom. Whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. And finally, no snack. These students chose no snack. 12%, 12 out of 100. When doubled, it becomes 24 students. 24 students out of 200 chose no snack. Okay, now at the bottom we're being asked to add the number of responses in the last column. Here is the responses, the number of students, 46 out of 200, 30 out of 200, and so on. We're being asked to add it just to check that it equals 200. Well, let's see. We have, for the first one, we have 30 plus 34 plus 30 again, right? And then you can see the rest chips were 36 people, and no snacks were 24 people. Okay, all I did, boys and girls, was I took the numbers from this column. Okay, and when you add them all up, you will get 200. Okay, question 1. How does finding the percent as a rate per 100, meaning out of 100, okay, how we did all the percents, we put them over 100, help you find the number of responses out of 200? Well, boys and girls, that's simple. That's simple. We place the percent. We place the percent over 100. Oops, that's just supposed to say 100, and then find an equivalent fraction out of 200. So what I mean by that is that we take any percent. Let's say 17%. We put it over 100, and then we find an equivalent fraction that is over 200, and that'll help us. Okay, we just have to create an equivalent fraction. That's what I meant by that. Okay, let's go ahead and put a star next to both sides here as a key answer. Okay, now on page, I believe this is 148. Let's see, here we're given a pie chart. Now remember, pie charts are best used to represent 100%. That's why we use an entire circle, like a whole pizza or a whole pie represents the 100%, and we can see how the 100% is broken up. This is the best tool that we can use for that. Here we have, refer to the pie, to the circle graph. Suppose there are 300, not 200 anymore, 300 students at York Middle School. Find the number of students that have cheese as a snack. Okay, so now we have 300 students and we have cheese as a snack, 15%. 15%, 15% out of 100. We have to now make it out of 300 students. So we have to triple this amount. And we triple this one. And a lot of you know already that 15 times 3 is 45. Okay, let's see the example. It's been tripled, and there's our 45. Great. All right, another way to do it, boys and girls, is to, remember, we cannot multiply percents. We have to change it to a decimal. We simply multiply the decimal of a percent, right, the decimal, times 300, and it'll give you the 45. Okay, when you multiply a number times a fraction, you get the fraction of that number. Okay, now let's see here. Find the number of students at York Middle School that have chips as a snack. Chips. Chips. When we look for chips, we see, there we go, 18. So now it's 18, and we have to triple that amount. Okay, let's go all the way here like this. 18% equals out of 300. Right? We tripled it here. Let's triple it at the top. Okay? And 18 times 3, I believe, is 54. So your answer should be 54 students. That's our unit, students. And here's a key answer. It's I don't know if you can figure out what it is. It's a cloud with a cloud and a rainbow. I hope yours is better than mine. Okay, on page 149, we're going to continue to work with percent, but now we're working with percents greater than 100. And here we have percents less than 1%, and again, less than 1%. So there's a couple of ways that we can do this. All right? Let me show you one simple way to do it, but a lot of times you'll need a calculator, or if you're good at multiplying with decimals, you can do it. Convert all of these into decimals. Okay, so remember that it moves over 2 places to the left. So 128% will become 1.28. 0.3% will become 0.003, and 0.85% will become 0.0085, and then you just multiply them all times the number. Sorry, I made a mistake right there and I can't erase it. That's one thing I don't like about this program. Times 550, and this one would be times 200, okay, as you can see right there, right, times 600. Okay, you multiply all of these together like that after converting them into a decimal, and you'll get your answer. Another way to do it, which is a little longer, but you could do it just on paper. Watch this. You take your 128% and you put it over 100, right? And then simplify this fraction, and then you're going to multiply fractions. You'll see. Okay, I'm simplifying it. I just went down by half, right? I went down by half. I divided 128 by half and I get 64. I cut 100 in half and I get 50, but I can still continue to simplify it more to 32 over 25, right? And now I'm going to multiply that just the way I multiplied it before. I'm going to multiply it times 550 over 1. When we multiply fractions, we have to cross-reference to simplify. How many 25s are in 550? Well, we know that, let's see, 25 times 10 is 250. 25 times 20 is 500. There's our 20. And then we need 2 more here, 25 and 25. So it's 25 times 22 will give you 550. So when we simplify, we say here's 1, and here are 22 of them. Right? And then you multiply across. 1 times 1 equals 1. And then 32 times 22 equals 704. So 128% of 550 is 704. Okay, that's another way to do it, by multiplying fractions. Okay, go ahead and solve these on your own by multiplying the way I told you. You can convert it into a decimal, or you can convert it into a fraction. Remember that this is 3 thousandths. So it would look something like this, 3 thousandths. Remember that you go 2 to the left, so 1, 2, you have your 0, 0 there, and it's tenth, hundredth, thousandths, so it's 3 over 1,000. And then when you multiply, okay, to figure out, you have to cross-reference. Okay, there is 1 200 there, one of them, and here's 5 of them. Right? And then we multiply. 3 times 1 is 3, and 5 times 1 is 5. And you have your 3/5 there, which is, as a decimal, 0.6. So some of you will think that this is an easier way to do it, and I'm happy if you do think so. Okay, try this one by using this method. Go ahead and we'll check it in class. Page 150, we have a word problem. Let's see it nice and close up. Okay. In the same meet, 15% of the team from Delaware County competed in tennis. 15% competed in tennis. If there were 20 members on the team, how many competed in tennis? So we're looking for 15% of 20. 15% of 20, boys and girls. 15% of 20. Here, many of you know I had to divide by 5 to make it into 20. So let's divide this number, divide it by 5. And you guys know that we get 3. So our answer is, therefore, 3 students competed in tennis. And boys and girls, if you write it like this, that'll be our key answer. I know that if somebody wrote the answer just on the side, that they didn't watch this video. So if you wrote it like this, I know that you were watching this and this is your key answer. Okay. For the guided practice, I'd like to take this opportunity to show you another way to do it. I know I've shown you about 2 or 3 different ways, but here's one more. Here's one more. We have 32% of 60. Now, what did I do to the 100 to make it 60? It's not easy to figure out, but if you were to break this 100 into fifths, you realize that we went down by 2/5, right? Because 60 is 3/5, right? And 100 is 5/5, right? 5 out of 5, and we went down by 2/5. You can go down by 2/5 of 32 as well. Go down by, you know that 30 can be divided by 5, it gives you 6. And if you divide 2 divided by 5, you get decimal 4, right? So 6.4 is our 1/5, but we went down by 2/5. So 2 of these would be 12.8. If you subtract 12.8 from 32, okay, you'll get 19.2, right? And that's another way to figure it out, simply by using simplified fraction. Now I know that some of this sounds a little hard or complicated or too hard for some of you. If it sounds a little too hard or not making sense for you, don't worry. We'll just default to what we've learned so far, which just you can turn it into a decimal, 0.32 times 60, and that'll give you your answer. You can try it like that as well. On second thought, leave the guided practice for class, and we'll do it together, okay, in class as a warm-up. But go ahead and complete the independent page on your own. Remember to go back to the examples. Example 1 to 4 will tell you, example 1 will tell you how to do this. Examples 2 to 4 will tell you how to do this. The word problems, example 5 will tell you how to do it, and so on. And then challenge yourself down here, okay? We'll check this in class. See you then, boys and girls.